I think one of the most hectic times I ever experienced here in the network was when President Carter came, and we also had at that time General Torrijos for the signing of the Panama Canal treaties. But on top of that, you had several, I'd say at least 10 or 15 heads of states from Latin America.
We like to say the C in SCN stands for crisis. 10 years later came the ultimate test of SCN's mettle.
And I remember getting up, putting on my PT clothes, and walking from the barracks to SCN and passing a formation of MPs, marching, not really marching, but they were running in full riot gear with face shields, M16, unscabbarded bayonets. And I thought to myself, oh my God, what the hell have I got myself into?
Tensions between General Manuel Noriega and the U.S. reached critical mass in 1989. Noriega's dignity battalions often harassed Americans, military and civilian.
The officers or military soldiers would come up to your car with the AK-47 and stick it in the window and say, do you mind if I search your car? Well, I didn't have any objections. They could do just anything they wanted to do.
In 1989, everyone on military installations was familiar with PMLs, personnel movement limitations. PMLs were curfews. The further up the alphabet you went, the more restrictive the PMLs became. I arrived during PML Bravo. The following week, it was Charlie, and it only went up. So I didn't see much of Panama until after Just Cause. But don't think that meant a lot of free time at SCN.
I had been drilling him time after time after time on bringing the studio hot within a matter of minutes from a cold start. And they had gotten that down perfectly. But you could tell that they were very tense. Again, it was not lost on the individual soldier and sailor and airman who worked at SCN that that building had been targeted.
SCN sits less than 50 feet from Gayard Highway. During Just Cause, those of us in radio joked since the window to our radio studio overlooked the highway, someone with a rocket-propelled grenade launcher could easily park a shell right on our laps. But everyone at SCN worked through the escalating PMLs, the unsuccessful October coup, and the killing of Lieutenant Paz. Then came the morning of December 19, 1989.
I was called up by Colonel Ron Sconiers, who was the Chief of Public Affairs up at Southcom, and he just called and said, can you come up? I want to talk over a couple of things with you and a couple of other senior people. I drove up there, got in the office, and he laid, of course, out a little bit of the plan, but nonetheless he gave me all I needed to know, and he gave me the general timeline as well as the script, which basically we were going to read that evening, and the time was identified as around 12:30 at night. And it was basically just a very general release that said, U.S. forces are invading Panama, stay in your home, don't worry about it, everything's under control. It was an interesting way to find out about the invasion.